Hello YouTube, welcome to the channel. If you get something out of the content that I put up here, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe and give me a like on these videos. It can make a real difference in the algorithms and how they share content with other channels. Also, if you're interested in some one-on-one Skype sessions, you'll find a good email on me in the description of every video I put up. Okay, the Cowboy Chords on mandolin. First question, do they exist? Answer is absolutely. We're going to jump right in on it too. Let's go with the key of G. This is going to be something that most of you guys, if you're in the bluegrass world, if you don't play a note of bluegrass, whatever, one of the first things we learn is this two-finger G on the mandolin. And then we would probably learn C. If we move that shape right up to a C chord, and then this good old D, sometimes referred to as the male bay D chord, we just memorize where to put our fingers, and we can play G, C, and D. Okay, so if we actually learn why that's where we need to put our fingers, that when we build a chord, that it's the root, the third, and the fifth scale degree of that scale, those are the intervals of the chord. So when I'm playing this G, a G note is here. The open top string is a G note. Then I have D, a fifth above it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the third scale degree, 1, 2, 3, that's a B note, and I'm playing it here. I have all of these chords are tabbed out for you. You can download that or print a copy if you want to. So those intervals are included in that shape. It's bigger than just memorizing that shape. The C chord, same thing is happening there. In this particular inversion of the chord, I have the fifth in the bottom of the chord, then the third scale degree, 1, 2, 3, and then my root note is here. And the open E is an extra third scale degree, if you wanted to look at it that way. Now with this D chord, another inversion yet. That's the fifth in the bottom of the chord. The A note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we have that note in the bottom, then the root, then another A, then the third, 1, 2, 3. So the chords are built on that 1, 3, and 5, on those scale degrees. If you learn that, then you should be able to build the rest of the chords in first position and take advantage of the open strings when that's an option to you. That's what cowboy chords are on guitar, in first position. These can be easier to play a lot of times in terms of fingering compared to Bill Monroe's chop chord shape that's so physically challenging for a lot of people. It's also, this provides a nice strummy sound for the mandolin. If we're not playing straight bluegrass, it can be articulated in ways that chop chords really don't function for us. So I'm going to break down another 1, 4, 5 for you guys, this time in the key of F. And if we're thinking about bluegrass, we would probably play F, B flat, and C up here, chopping the mandolin to get that nice percussive sound. Here we go in first position. Now I want to break these down a little differently and actually play these arpeggios, because our G, C, and D, we've probably just memorized where to put our fingers. So if I'm playing an F chord, I know that I need the intervals 1, 3, and 5. I'm going to start on an F note and play the scale. 1, 2, 3. So I know I need an A note in that chord because that's the third scale degree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm also going to need a C note. Those are easy to determine because we're tuned in fifths. So now I'm looking for an opportunity to find those intervals on the fretboard. The first thing I would notice is that I have an A note here. So that's my 3rd scale degree. Here's my 5th of that chord, but I'm already using that string for the 3rd. I could play the root here, and then I have another A note, or I could play the 5th here. There I already have the chord, and then I could add another root note there. I'm not really crazy about how that sounds. So knowing that I have to have F, A, and C, I could kind of go back and reinvent this again. What if I played the 5th scale degree here? If I played the 5th fret, then F note here, then an open A. Hey, look what that is. That's just like a chop chord, just that I have an open interval for the 3rd scale degree, and then I could add the root note here on the 1st fret. I really like that. And look at the difference that it makes just by having one open string in the chord. The mandolin blooms in a completely different way. If I closed that note up, instead of the A, I could play the 5th there by playing a parallel 5th on the 3rd fret. That still qualifies as an F chord. I don't have the 3rd. It's a power chord. It's just 1s and 5s. But the mandolin loses that attribute. Just one open string can make all the difference. So there's our F, or our 1 chord. Now for a B flat. Let's just take advantage of the way the mandolin functions. We know that if this is F, and here's our root note, if I move this finger up, all of that other information is going to move as well. I could outline the B flat chord here. And in this case, since we're not arpeggiating that, we're just playing the chord, there's a B flat, and then I'm going to play 1st fret on the E string to add an F note there. So that gives me the root, the 3rd, then another root, and then the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, that 5th being parallel. Okay, so there's F, B flat. Boom, here's what you're gonna love. Once we get to that, the 5 chord is C. We already know that one from when we learned G, C, and D. That's how this begins to really build up for us. So now I have F, B flat, C, and F. Practice this. Again, cowboy chords on the mandolin. So that's going to give us a completely new series of things to work on it as far as muscle memory. It isn't quite as easy as just learning your chop chords and moving those shapes around. We're going to have to think about this. What are the intervals of these chords? What are the opportunities that we have on the fretboard? Like if we're using an open 3rd in the chord. I love the way B flat sounds with that open D string. It's such a warm quality that chord has. You're going to discover those attributes of the mandolin for different chords, and I'm not going to go through all of these. I have all of the cowboy chords as far as major chords. They're tabbed for you, and you can go to the link and check it out. But this really is a great thing to learn, not only for the rhythmic things that we're able to play through this knowledge, but also just kind of using your knowledge of building chords to figure some of the rest of these out. For anybody that's actually watching this video all the way to the end, let's do the sticker challenge for today. Just in the comments, I want someone to put Somebody tab out what would be, or you don't have to tab it, just put in the comments what would be the notes that we would play in first position for a cowboy chord version of a G minor. So if you're still watching this, drop that in the comments and you'll be the sticker winner for this week.